Colorado Department of Transportation has thousands of employees. There are 9 of them who aren't worried about Colorado's roads. Our Marshall Zellinger met them after noticing something curious about CDOT's logo.
When I think of CDOT, I generally think of what you see at the top of the screen, vehicles and roadways. Until recently, I hadn't thought about that flying object.
Like so many people across Colorado, you probably didn't know that CDOT does things with aviation across the state.
We learned about David Ulane and his role as CDOT's Director of Aeronautics after asking why CDOT's logo included an airplane.
There's 3,300 people or so that work for CDOT. There's precisely 9 of us that don't do surface transportation.
The 9 employees support the 76 public use airports in Colorado.
Big and small, from Denver International Airport all the way to the Mineral County Airport down in Creed.
Funded entirely by aviation fuel taxes, CDOT's Aeronautics Division helps with airport infrastructure projects, like helping to pay for a runway at Del Norte's Airport in southern Colorado.
They didn't have an airport to be able to support life flight. It was just, the airport was just too small.
As CDOT's Aeronautics Communications Manager, Sean Setterberg shares the good news, like the life saved because a critically ill patient could be flown to Pueblo from Del Norte's airport instead of losing critical time in an ambulance.
So it was really cool to see someone who never uses the airport for anything else, but in that situation, save their lives.
CDOT also paid the FAA to install aviation cameras on 13 high-altitude weather stations.
It used to be only Canada and Alaska prior to 2020 had any dots.
The dots are linked to footage that shows pilots what a perfect day looks like compared to the current conditions.
We know somehow, somewhere, that what we did is going to keep somebody from perishing in an aircraft accident.
The 9 people who do CDOT's aeronautics work have to drive to their office in Watkins. Just don't ask them about road conditions.
When I walk around with this CDOT logo on my shirt, I get questions a lot. Well, what the heck's going on with I-25 or I-70? And I'm like, I don't know. But if you got any issues with airports, let's talk.
The Aeronautics Division funding also helps smaller airports pay for necessary equipment to stay open. When DIA is done with airport snow removal equipment, it sells it cheap. I'm told nearly $1 million in snowplows get sold for about $50,000, and CDOT covers about 80% of that, so a small airport gets a major piece of equipment, albeit used, for 10 grand.
That's actually very cool. They didn't sell that janky old DIA baggage system to some small airport, did they? They just burned that, right?
I think it's still in the underworld.
Still in the nether regions of DIA. All right, that was a great story. Marshall, thank you.